Hey Book Dragons, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about some books that have great book covers, but the books themselves aren't so hot. Let's go. Thank you to my patrons. I really appreciate all you do to support the channel. So sometimes what looks good on the surface isn't always that great when you start digging into it. And that's the case with these books I'm going to talk about today. I have a total of 6 books to talk about. The first book I'm going to talk about is Shadow and Claw. This is the first duology in the Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe. As you can see here, the cover is absolutely brilliant. It just draws you in. It looks cool. It just evokes so many things. It makes it seem like this character is just to be feared and just dark and mysterious, and it's just an absolutely breathtaking cover. But the book isn't that great. I did read the book. I don't plan to continue the series. It just did not work for me. I didn't really care about the main character, Severian. Even at the end of the book, I just kind of felt wasted, you know? The whole book meandered for me. There were some cool, interesting things happening at the beginning of the book, but then the book just kind of dragged on, and I got to the end, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know why I read this. So, Shadow and Claw has a cool cover, but it's kind of a bland book. Rage of Dragons is the next one. Now, some of you who have watched some of my past videos, you are aware that I did not like Rage of Dragons. It wasn't the worst book I've ever read, but it was just not up to par, and I won't continue this series for that one either. You can check out the cover here, though. The cover is awesome. I mean, that's the best part about the book. The cover's really eye-catching and thought-provoking, but unfortunately, it just wasn't that great of a book. Tao is a very one-dimensional character. I didn't really care about his character at all by the end of it. I was just kind of ready to get it over with. The book is chock full of action, but there was no substance to the book other than that, and it just really fell flat for me. Great cover, bland book. Perdido Street Station by China Mieville. I was really bummed about this because I had heard so many good things about China's books. Very unique plot points, and I'll give him that. He writes some very, very unique, very strange, very weird stuff. At least in Perdido Street Station, I found that to be true. I find this hard to say, but it was too weird for me, which is saying a lot because I'm a very weird person and I like a lot of weird stuff, but it was just a little bit too off the beaten path for me for some reason. I did DNF this book, but hey, I like this cover. I mean, look at this cover. It's great, but it just wasn't that great a book, and so I didn't finish it. His Majesty's Dragon by Naomi Novik is another one. I wanted to like this book because of dragons, right? I mean, and Temeraire is a cool name for a dragon. I'm like, oh yeah, that's an awesome name. But while the cover is very cool, you can see it right here, I did not enjoy the book. I DNF'd this one. I think I already mentioned that. And I don't know. It's an alternate history. It's Napoleon with dragons, basically, and it just didn't work for me. I just had no desire to keep reading, so I didn't. So yeah, it's a great cover, but a bland book. at least in my opinion. And remember, guys, these are just my opinions. I know a lot of people who like all of these books that I mentioned so far. The fifth book that I'm going to talk about is The Tao of Pooh. Now, I love the philosophies of Taoism, and I love Winnie the Pooh. Who doesn't love Winnie the Pooh? If you don't like Winnie the Pooh, well, I won't judge you, but why don't you like Winnie the Pooh? So I thought a book that is focused on how the adventures of Winnie the Pooh illustrate different Taoist ideals would be a fantastic book. It's a great premise. And this cover is really kind of cool and kind of cute too. I mean, it's a great cover, but it was just okay. I mean, this is the only book on the list that wasn't completely bland. It was okay, but I didn't really like it that much, and I unhauled it. I got rid of it. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's kind of neat, but not really for me. So, but it's a great cover. It's enticing, and the basic premise is it's a cool idea, but it didn't work for me. And then the last book I'm going to talk about is A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. And you can see the cover right up here. At least one of the ones I found. I like all the covers, or most of them that I saw for it. But this one really caught my eye. It's a cool cover. Unfortunately, A Tale of Two Cities was not that great a book, at least in my opinion. It's not because I don't like classics, because I do. I like classics. But it was just honestly kind of boring to me. I know it's more of a historical novel, about the storming of the Bastille and things like that, and there was a few attempts at humor throughout the book that some of them land and some of them don't, and I don't even remember that much about it. I had to read it in college, so it was required reading, and I wouldn't read it again for sure. And another case of a book with a really cool cover and a kind of bland book. So kind of a short little video for you guys there. I hope that was helpful to you. I'd love to know your thoughts on some of these books. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And what are some books that you think have really cool covers but just aren't really great books? Let me know some of the ones on your list. And make sure that you are reading more books. I'll talk to you soon.